This is Justin Gemino from DragonBlogger.com, and today I'm here unboxing the Netgear Nighthawk X6 AC3200 wireless router. This is actually the model R8000 and offers tri-band Wi-Fi to handle all your wireless A, B, G, N, as well as wireless AC devices. Now, this advertises dual-core processor. It advertises, as I said, tri-band Wi-Fi. It has 6 high-performance antennas. It's beamforming to focus Wi-Fi signals, which supposedly makes mobile devices have stronger connections to it. It also has a secure remote access feature to allow VPN access to your home network. And it's supposed to smartly connect the Wi-Fi device via the right signal and choose the optimum connection for each Wi-Fi device that connects with it. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and show you guys what's in the box here and see how it looks like. So I'm going to be opening up the box here now, ripping open the plastic. So on the side of the box it says the technical specifications are 600 megabits per second over 2.4 gigahertz network and 1300 megabits per second over the 5 gigahertz network on both band 2 and band 3. It also has 5 10100 gigabit Ethernet ports and 1 WAN and 4 LAN ports. 128 megs flash memory, 256 megs RAM. 2 USB ports, one of them is USB 3.0, one of them is USB 2.0, and supports ReadyShare so that you can make any computer or device print to your printer over the Wi-Fi network as well. Supports IPv6, of course. So we got the router itself, which is huge. Biggest router I've ever opened and unboxed. Look at the size of this thing. We're talking about a massive router. The good thing is the antennas are actually built in, which, you know, is kind of cool. I know some routers, they actually have the antennas where you screw on or install separately. These kind of just open up. And they feel a little delicate and flimsy, but they kind of rotate a little bit. See that? You can kind of like rotate them and kind of like for different signal directions. So I kind of like that they're connected. You don't have to screw separate antennas in. I like how they can fold flat. And like if you need to shut your router down or take it with you and transport it, you could simply just fold them in back to flat. That's kind of a nice feature. I haven't seen a router that does that before. Oh, they kind of like snap back into place too. See how flat it gets, the antennas? And then a whole slew of LEDs here. We got power, internet, of course, 2.4 gigahertz network, the first band for 5 gigahertz, the second band for 5 gigahertz, the USB 3 whether it's active, USB 2 whether it's active, the 4 Ethernet ports, a button to turn your Wi-Fi on and off, so that say if you're going out of town or something, or you maybe just going out for a few hours, you want to turn off Wi-Fi to your house, you just simply disable it, and then WPS for devices that connect via WPS. On the back of the router here, you got your USB 2.0 port clearly labeled all the way on the left here. You've got your LED on-off switch, done whether or not you want to see the LEDs, probably. I'll see what that does. Your 4 Ethernet ports, your clearly marked internet Ethernet port, your USB 3.0 port that's clearly marked, as well as the DC power and the power button, and a little factory default reset that you have to stick like a pin in there or a paper clip to do factory reset. As with all routers, it comes with your default SSID name for the network in case you don't have a device to set it up via Ethernet. I always set up my routers at first via Ethernet, then enable Wi-Fi, but it does come with a default SID and password, so that way if you only have a Wi-Fi device and yet you still need to set up your router, you can actually set it up for the first time over Wi-Fi instead of needing an Ethernet connection. And then of course you got your serial number, your MAC number, and it also lists the default username and password for your router. Now, always remember, no matter what router you have, you always change the password and default from defaults. Too many people have security risks because they just leave the factory default username and password. That's the first thing you should do after you set up your router. Change the username and password. Do not ever leave factory default username and password. So that's my recommendation as just the unboxing. Also included in the box is the installation guide, which manuals nowadays are not nearly as big as they used to be. They make you go to the product docs on the website. It's a thin little flimsy guide here. Should be more than enough to get you set up and started. Basically, it just shows you what I showed you about the antennas opening up It just shows you how to do the various connections via Ethernet cable. Nothing special here, standard setup. Although obviously if you're new to setting up Wi-Fi routers, you're going to want to spend some time looking at this. Got your product registration guide. Got some sort of offer for 50 songs from your music. And then you got some recommendations for other range extenders and other Netgear products and how to optimize placement for maximum range of the Wi-Fi network and pushing other related products. They include a default cable, an Ethernet cable. It's yellow, which matches the same color as the internet port, so it might be a good one to use when you connect this to your internet cable modem. Of course, the power cable and the adapter for it, which is kind of a lot of power. It's kind of big and bulky, but you know, much bigger than most routers, but it'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually temporarily replace my existing router with this, and I'm going to test it on all the channels. I actually do not have any wireless AC devices or adapters at this time, so I'm only going to be able to test it on the wireless N bandwidth, but I'll test it as best as possible with as many devices as possible, and I'll let you know what I find out. Thank you for watching.